Hello, Creative Tartanites, and welcome to my live session today. Excuse me. I am going live not on my usual day, and I'm also going live not at my usual time either. Now, I realise that a lot of the places in the States, this is going to be an unearthly hour in the morning for you. And so, for all those guys, I am very sorry if you've missed the live and you're having to watch on the replay. Thank you, much appreciated. Welcome. But the truth of the matter is I was itching to go live, well, to paint, and I knew I needed to go live. Oh, hello, Mona. Hello. I knew I needed to go live today at some point, and truth be told, I'm being impatient. Hi, Laura. Hiya. I'm being totally impatient. I want to paint, and I knew I needed to go live. If I had been painting and then gone live at my usual time, by the time it was time to go live, I might not have been in the mood to paint. Hi, Jen. Hi there. Welcome. Thank you very much for everybody who's joining me. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm simply just spraying my kitchen towel in my tray so that it's wet, and then I'm going to pop on my baking paper to use as my palette. So if you just bear with me, you'll probably see me just in here. In fact, hello. So I really appreciate you joining me today. I'm kind of in the mood to experiment. I don't know about you guys, but I get times where I just think, you know, I'm not wanting to do what I usually do. I want to just do something completely different, get out of my comfort zone and experiment. So that's what today's session is about. Today's session is about all you sock folders and encouraging you. Yes, Mona, I'm talking about you. I'm only kidding. It's to really it's to kind of encourage people to go out of their comfort zone and to experiment. So with that in mind, I have actually picked up some of my cheaper acrylics again. I'm also using, remember last week I did the flowers. Well, this week I thought we could do something on this page. And now let me know if you can hear me all right, because again I'm trying not to be too loud because the camera is right next to me, and I'm forgetting that because the camera's next to me, I can have a tendency to project my voice, and I need to be mindful of that and not be quite so loud, and so therefore it doesn't distort the sound. Right, I have my Art Sherpa palette knives. Now these are plastic knives. I do have metal ones as well. With the metal ones, there is a much thinner edge to the metal ones, as you can see, much thinner edge. So with the metal ones, there are certain things that is more advantageous to have the metal edge than the plastic. But as this is just a practice, I decided that I was just simply going to use the plastic ones. And believe it or not, I'm actually thinking I might do a face. Apart from anything else, obviously, I do enjoy painting my portraits, but also because this is February, and a big shout out to my friend Martha, who is the founder of Ayala Arts, and she hosts 29 Faces. She hosts that twice a year, and this month is one of the months that she actually hosts the 29 Faces. So search for that on Facebook. You'll be able to find her group, and it is an awesome group with some awesome artists who are all posting a face a day. So every day you paint or draw a face, or even collage a face. It's art. It's whatever you want it to be, but it's about creating a face every single day, and that daily practice will in turn help you to get better. So let me talk a little bit more about the colours, if you don't mind. I know I'm kind of rambling on a little bit now, but I just wanted to explain a few things before I got started. I have picked up random colours. This is not my usual portrait colours. I even have gold in my hand here. I have two different types of gold. I have more of a yellowy gold, and I've got more of a coppery gold. Oh, Jen, no problem. Hello, Jen. Thank you anyway for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. It's so much nicer to know that you're not Billy McNamates. So yeah, I've literally picked up random colours because I am going to be completely experimenting. As I said, this could go horribly wrong, and that's also equally okay. So if it goes horribly wrong, I'm telling you now, it is okay. I don't care. People can say how awful my art is till the cows come home, but that does not necessarily mean to say that I'm going to believe them. And even if it was true that the art is awful, that is still not going to stop me. I think I'll just leave my palette here so you guys can see it. That's actually not a bad setup, I have to say. I'm quite liking this setup. So maybe I will do it again in the future. Right. Okay. So when I first started getting back into painting, I picked up this portrait pink. It's when I started first doing art journaling, and I wasn't really mixing my own paints at that point. Didn't have a lot of paints. Oh, that's very strange that you couldn't add the link. Very strange indeed, Mona. Are you able to add any of my links? So yeah, portrait pink. This was one of the paints that I first got when I was first art journaling. Didn't own a lot of paints at all, and so I used this. So I might as well use it. I don't use it any other time, so I thought I might as well just go for it. So this is portrait pink. I also have some buff titanium. And I think we'll just pop out some phthalo turquoise. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to pop some out anyway. Again, these are student grade paints. This is phthalo blue. This is Dalla Rowney. I don't tend to use phthalo blue because it has a tendency to create mud, but as we're experimenting today, I am actually not bothering my little behind. Computer is slow, so she'll try. Okay, no problem, Mona. Right, and one of my favourite light green colours. Ooh, now this is an interesting colour. This is a very interesting. I'm just going to pop this. This is what's just come off the lid. I'm just going to pop it in the bin before I get paint everywhere. Right. Okay. So where will I start? I think I'll maybe. I might just try the bigger one. Let's see what happens from here. Okay. So. I'm just thinking really about my whoops. Didn't mean that to happen. Might just think about the head. There we go. Now that's what I don't have in my hand. I'll need a cloth. There we go. I have got a cloth. Right. I might as well try a little bit of this. Not really sure that this is such a good idea with it being such a small canvas space, but we can but try, huh? Right. Now, I'm thinking maybe some of this pink wouldn't go amiss. Oh, great. Okay. Right, this pink has. Oh, there we go. Got it. It's dried in the actual tube, in the neck of the tube, and so it wasn't coming out, but I've got it now, so that's fine. Right. So we're kind of getting there. Oh, hello, Chrissy. Hiya. Okay, Mona, no problem. Mona couldn't post any of the links, so she's going to reboot her computer. Right. Okay. So let's get back to what I'm doing. Which is really, in essence, just messing about. Right. Okay, so the eyes are going to be around about here. And I'm thinking that the nose is potentially going to be around about here. Now it is just a bit of a mess at the moment, but perhaps that will change as we kind of just keep adding. I wonder what would happen if I mixed the copper with the pink. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Not really sure what I'm thinking of that at this moment. Got sound, woohoo, excellent. Oh dear. Right. Okay, so let's see what I can do with regards to the lips. Kind of. I think this technique is probably going to be much better with a bigger space. Because I don't think this is particularly conducive. What happens now, if memory serves me correctly, I'm sure these two make a kind of purple. There we go, it does. That's giving us a reasonable what's the word I was looking for? Reasonable shadow, that's it. Oh, hi, Anjali. Hello, my number one, my number one fan. Anjali was probably one of the, in fact, I think she was the very first subscriber to my channel all those years ago. Hi, Anjali. I wondered if you might be able to attend this live, seeing as how I was going much earlier. Right, that's not working. I'm going to scrape that off. Right. Trying to trying to get the nose in some way, shape, or form. And as you can see, this is kind of going horribly wrong at this moment in time. But actually, I don't really care because this is helping me to discover what um, paints are good, what paints are not so good, how to mix them, how not to mix them. So really, um, I think this is something that everybody needs to do in their journal. So it's just kind of building it up. It's not hello Gray, hello, welcome. Welcome. Right, now that Mona's had a little talking to her computer, and her computer is now kind of working for her, um, she is sharing the links for Ayala Art for the 29 Faces, which is the current challenge that is going on Ayala's page on Facebook. Ayala is, in fact, it's Martha. Martha's her name. Ayala is her channel. And she does the 29 Faces twice a year. Which is essentially doing a face a day. And Gray says, oh, she's working on crochet at the moment. I love crochet. Fabulous. Mona says, it's been a while since I painted with a palette knife. So do you think your next project is going to be with a palette knife then? It's amazing the kind of um, texture. That's the word I was looking for. It's amazing the kind of texture that you can get with the palette knife. I think my biggest mistake is perhaps doing this so small, because the palette knives are actually quite big. So it's a bit more tricky, or it's a bit trickier to I mean, I know I'm not trying to get the details anyway, but it does seem to be a little bit more tricky. Just getting a reasonable small shape. Bigger shapes, yeah, but smaller shapes, not so. I mean, to be fair, if I bring, uh, check it out. It's messy, it's textured, but do you know what? I'm actually liking this. I'm really liking it. In fact, so much so. Yes, it's oh, hi Art by Fancy Nancy. Hi Nancy, how you doing? Um I'm I've liked doing this so much that I think what I might do, if you guys don't mind, is I'm going to grab a bit of paper, bigger bit of paper, um, and I am actually going to do the same thing but bigger, because I've really enjoyed that, and I think that there are those who will say, "Oh, that's gone horribly wrong," but I don't think it's gone horribly wrong. I think it is what it is. It's expressionistic. It's expressive. There is, it's an abstract of a face. There's no real specific detail in there. There's not meant to be. We have got some really good colours going on. And so I would really like to put this on a bigger scale. Now, I've only been on for 28 minutes. So considering that I'm usually on for 2 hours, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to grab myself some paper. I have some paper here. Oh, I'll just tuck that on in at the back there. In fact, the paper is of a size that I think I might just clip it rather than anything else. So there's the face. Very abstract. It's not meant to be detailed. It is what it is. And I've had a lot of fun just slapping that paint around. So let's pop this off to the side. And let's do the same thing again, but in a bigger size. And let's see what comes off. Now already you can see that it's made a difference in terms of my gestures. Just where I'm actually at with this. And I think that's okay. I think we need to experiment. I really do believe that we need to experiment. I mean, look at the colours that I'm getting. Oh, do you know what? I've just realised you can't see the whole thing. Sorry. There. That better? Right, let me shove it down just a bit. There. There we go. Is that better? Duh. Oh, what am I like? Eh? What am I like? Right. So let's get some more of this portrait pink out. Right, there we go. Right. So that's that there. There's kind of where the nose is at. It's kind of where the lips are at. Just get rid of that. And again, you know, I'm just not really thinking too much about this. Just messing about. So wonder what would happen if I added a little bit of yellow to the mix. Again, just using my student paints. So what happens if I add the yellow in? Gives us we've got a bit of a funky um, bright vibe going on now. We'll maybe put in some of this in the okay. Now I've been avoiding using white, but I'm now kind of thinking I might just tone it down a little bit. We'll see, because that's really quite vibrant colours, but I can't get this lid open. Right, this is well and truly stuck. Got it. Right. Okay. So we'll kind of go back to using, maybe we'll try this one. Okay, that's an interesting colour that I've managed to get. So it's a little bit of the sort of bluier light green. Huh, interesting. Very interesting indeed. And right now this looks a little like something my granddaughter would paint. But I don't care, because that's the whole point. The point is just to, for me anyway, is just messing about with these colours and seeing what they actually do. So just mixing it all in. Not really particularly caring. Here's the copper colour. There we go. Starting to build up that face. I'm just reading some of the comments just now. Grace saying, Tanya, yes, experiment and enjoy the experience. Yes, absolutely. And that's what this particular live session is actually about. It's really oops, it's really meant to just give us a bit more permission, if you like, to experiment and just be experimental. I mean, you can see that this is starting to come along. You know, okay, there's still, you know, it's not necessarily the most fine art painting in the world, but that's not what this live was about. It was really about showing you that, you know, it's possible to just simply have fun. Let all your cares just disappear. So you can see it's, you know, it is changing and evolving as, you know, I put all these colors down. And there's nothing at all wrong with that. I'm actually really thoroughly enjoying this process. There isn't a particular face. It's not, you know, it's not anything particularly. There's no reference. It's just thinking about, um, you know, the lights, the darks, and just adding on the color. Now, Chrissy is said, she reminds me of an Egyptian figure. And Mona agrees. Maybe Cleopatra. Well, that's interesting. Be nice with a little put my teeth back in, crown on her. It would be fab. Okay, well that's an interesting concept. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Right, let me pop out some more of this phthalo green. Because obviously it's a bigger painting, it is taking up a little more of the colours. Now, I am experimenting a little bit off to the side here. I'm seeing what colours I can get. I've used a little bit of the magenta. And what I'm doing here is I'm making her face pop out by putting the dark down around there. And I'm picking up more of that darker colour and popping it on the canvas There. So you see, let me see if I can get this closer for you without knocking everything. So do you see that? It's messy, but the moment you stand back from it, it actually looks completely different. And I think that's an important message to think about, and to consider, with regards to, um, painting in general, not just, with, portraiture. Chrissy is saying it's creative. I love this. Thank you, Chrissy. I really, really, really do appreciate, your support very much. I'm thinking I'm keeping this girl's eyes closed. Um, so I'm kind of working on the premise that her eyes are actually shut. Uh, so I'm just putting in a bit of a shadow area up here, as kind of sort of tends to happen. So let me think. This is more of a kind of purple. Uh, just trying to think about where her eyelashes could potentially be. And I'm thinking possibly about here, but I'm not wanting her eyelashes to start kind of taking over this part of her face. So again, it's maybe just a little bit too messy at the moment, but I'm thinking that, there is potential. Um, right, okay. So I think her eyes are starting to look a bit more like she's got black eyes. So I'm just thinking lightening these up a bit, but keeping the kind of the darkness, but not. Okay. I'm also thinking, because remember this is a limited palette. Um, So I'm also thinking kind of darks and lights, and it's not really going the way I want it to go, but it's starting to get there. And I love the copper in that last painting. So I'm kind of thinking, get some of that in here. I wonder what would happen if I put a little bit of yellow there, maybe just on her nose, just there. That's not really helped. Right, there. That's maybe a little bit better. Okay, so let's. Do you know, I'm going to try some of this coppery gold and see what happens. Just experimenting, just adding, seeing what happens. If it turns out to be a big hot mess, it turns out to be a big hot mess. Okay, that's actually quite light. It's not really I'm looking up at the screen as well as looking down here, and I have to say, I'm not really liking this bit here. So I'm going to change it. Yeah, that's a little bit better, maybe. Right, I'm going to lighten this whole thing up. The mixing white is not really doing anything for me. I'm going to crack out the titanium white. Mona says that she thinks that she'll do some tag dolls this weekend. I had so much fun doing those Tartanite tag trade dolls. I have got so many ideas. I'm so excited about it, I have to say. I really do. Right. So let's see what I can do with this. With this white. Right. Okay. Oh, that's quite a nice colour. I'm just kind of mixing what's left on the palette, to be honest. And just seeing what comes up. There we go. Ooh, yes, liking that. Now I'm going to be really, really outrageous. And I'm going to add some of this green and see what happens. In fact, ooh, do you know what? Do you know what I'm going to make somebody very happy. Ta-da! Oh, I'm going to try a little bit of green gold. I'm going to experiment with some green gold. Let's see what I can come up with, Chrissy. Right, so let's see. I'll put it on straight just to begin with and see what kind of happens. Just mixing it into what's already on. Ah, yes. How cool is that? So try a little bit of phthalo, some of that green gold, and some titanium white. Okay, that's interesting. Right, that's very interesting. And I'm also thinking that I really need to bring her cheek up a little bit because I think her eyes are far too low. That's better. That's so much better. Right. I wonder what will happen if I add some gold to the white. Right. So oh, that's nice. I like that. Now we're starting to get some sort of different yeah. There we go. I think it's starting to kind of something's sort of starting to come off the page. I think we're needing some more of that sort of green gold all over. Just to get more colour onto the page. There we are. I think that's helping. Going to pop some more of that gold over the top. See what happens. Yeah, I'm liking that. So, what's new with you guys? What's been happening? Where are we at? Uh, I'm just wanting to get some more contrast in here, like really kind of show some waves in her hair like that. I really am honestly just adding these things willy-nilly now. Right. Is that doing anything? Not really. Pop more copper on. Is that popping her lips any at all? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Um, yes, her eyes are closed. Her eyes are closed. I'm popping on some red here. See what happens. There we go. How's that? Oh yeah, lips are starting to kind of pop a bit more now. Mm, so her nose. I think her nose needs a little bit more working. I don't know how or because I think it needs to be a little bit kind of wider across her face. Um, there we go. That's That's a little bit better, I think. Don't know though. I don't know. Um, okay, so um, not really sure where I want to go with this now. I think maybe possibly a little bit darker under here, perhaps. Kind of get her chin to stick out a bit more. Chrissy says that's a Roman nose. Mona's is just picking up for the prince. So Chrissy says that she's preparing to finish her other painting live. I don't know when. I'll just sneak on. Nice one. Nice one. I'm kind of thinking I want to do something with these eyes. Because I'm not really digging them, I have to say. And I'm not really sure what's wrong with them. Ah, now that's maybe a bit better. I think maybe they were just a bit too light, do you think? That's better. They're perhaps a bit too big for her face now, but do you know what? I don't care. I actually don't care. Right, let's see. I'm kind of thinking that maybe I can pop on a bit of a crown if I've got enough paint left. There we go. Is that showing enough to think? Doesn't have to be perfect. calling this abstract anyway. It's definitely whimsical. We've had the coppery gold. Shall we try the yellower gold? Let's see what happens if I use a little bit of this. Maybe add a bit of white. It's not really showing up, but hey ho, that's fine. I'm now going to add a little bit more of that copper colour. I like that copper colour. Right. There we go. There we are. I'm just finishing off some of the paint that I already have on my palette, just to kind of sort of finish off the painting. And I think that's pretty much it, to be fair. I mean, I can't see it being put on sale, but I've certainly enjoyed painting her. She's officially royal. She has been crowned. Yes, she has. I'm just trying to figure out ways to actually get the crown to stand out. Because as it is, it's not. There. Right. I'm thinking maybe lightening up the background. That's probably That's probably how I'm going to get it to stand out. Excuse excuse me. Ooh. Yeah, messing about with. Right. There. Mm, that's maybe a bit too kind of harsh, but hey ho. Um, let's see. Let's try and get something a bit lighter on this side as well. There. A bit better, maybe? Don't know. Haven't decided. That might be a bit more helpful. Yeah. Okay. Leave it. Crown reads fine. Well, I didn't. Sorry. I'm just taking this out because it's a bit too. I didn't need it to stand out quite as much as that. There. That's a bit better. There we go. I'm going to stop fiddling now because I think I've fiddled more than enough. Leave it, not a chance. Yeah, it's interesting because even in my head, my head was telling me to leave it. But I'm just like, no, no, I'm going to try this. La 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 la. Let's see what happens. And I think that's actually a good thing sometimes. I think sometimes it's actually helpful just to just keep going and see what happens. Um, because it is what it is. And if we take it that step too far, then we're like, okay, I live with that now, but next time, yeah, I'll do things differently. So there we go. That is it. I am not touching it anymore at all or whatsoever, says she. Put the palette knife down. Right, the palette knife's down. The palette knife is down. Okay, so I have, well, I don't have to, but I'm going to. Um, this is the only time I'm going to use my brush. I'm going to sign it. Um, but I'm not sure what colour to sign it. So I'll grab this, ooh, and at the same time stick my finger in the paint, as you do. And I am going to, where am I going to sign it? I'm going to sign it, I'm going to try and sign it here. Oops. Typical. There. And it is 2019. There we go. That's it. Done. Thank you all so very, very much for hanging out with me for so long. I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. Um, oh, comfy crochet. Hi, Dawn. So Dawn's saying that she's giving me a big head is what she's doing. As I've said before, your talent lied in faces, just beautiful. Uh, even my husband likes it, and he is not an abstract person, but he's half Scottish. Of course, he clearly likes it because I of my accent. Absolutely, that makes sense. I mean, I just want to show you that, be fearless. Um, I, like everybody, I worry about what other people think. Um, but I don't allow that to kind of change who I am as an artist. Now, I'm just going to pop the camera back up on the screen. So hang on. Ugh, there we go. Hello. Bit too high, I think. Just down a little bit more. There we have it. Yay! So, hello. Yeah, I would definitely recommend experimenting. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Um, I you watched me. I just simply scraped paint on, scraped it off, scraped some more on, and it's not the right proportions. Her eyes are too big, blah 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 blah. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't worry me at all, or what's well, actually, that's not strictly true. It worries me a little bit. I will be totally honest with you guys. It does worry me. I don't want people to think, oh, she's fake. Look at her. That is a rubbish piece of art when you compare it to likes of the work in the background here. Or one of my other portraits, like you know, these, right? So there's two of my portraits, and there's just a fun abstract portrait. Producing this kind of work doesn't make anybody a bad artist. Just because it's not the same as these doesn't change who I am as an artist. And I hope that makes sense. I really do hope that makes sense to you guys. When you produce work like this, it's equally as valid as when you produce work like this. So, and you're right, guys, she is whimsical. She is, I love her too. I know I'm saying that I worry about what people think, but it's only to a certain degree. And I'm only admitting to that because I want the people out there who are watching my video, if they've got this far, I want them to know that it is okay. We can still have these thoughts of, I really hope people like this, but still be okay with what we do. I hope this is making sense. I really do hope this is making sense. And I just want to openly encourage people to experiment. Pop that over there so that you guys can see it. You know, allow yourself to do the things that may not necessarily, I mean, look, that's what started me off, because I had a page in my art journal that was crying out to have something done to it, because I had just used the page to get rid of some excess paint that I had left on my palette. And so I thought I would do it small in my page. This is a small size. I had so much fun doing this that I decided to do the bigger one. And, you know, palettes, knives are not what I'm used to using. And I'm going to just close the blinds because that's just a bit too sunny. There we go, that's better. Just a bit too sunny. So I'm just reading the comments. Yeah, of course, Kirsty, the green gold did it. So yeah, please don't let the fear of what other people think about you, because I'm absolutely sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is somebody out there that's going to watch this video and think, nah, that's rubbish. But that doesn't make it rubbish. Does that make sense? Just because somebody else thinks it doesn't make it true. Yeah? You know, there are people out there that probably think I've got a terrible sense in style the way I dress. That doesn't make it true. I dress how I dress because I find it comfortable, I like the colours, and this is my style. My hair, okay, that has a style of its own. It does whatever it likes. It doesn't seem to really appreciate that I try to make it look like I want it to look. It's got a mind of its own. But that's also okay, because it's who I am. You know, I sometimes, and I'm sorry if this is turning into a little bit of a rant and a kind of pep talk, but I think we, as we get older, as older people, you know, we kind of look at the young ones and we become a little, and I say this because I sometimes feel it myself. It's normal. You know, we kind of become a little bit jealous of how nice they look in their paint, in their pictures. You know, they're in their studios and they're very pretty, and they've got their, you know, their brushes up at their easels, and there's these pretty pictures, and you know, it looks lovely. There is a certain aesthetic going on there, and I don't have that aesthetic, but that's also okay. There are many, many, many more who don't. And I have my own qualities, and my own qualities of, dare I say, prettiness, and it really is, it's, I'm hoping that I am encouraging people to be okay with themselves, because who you are is perfectly okay. I hope that makes sense. And I hope I have helped somebody somewhere realize that, everything doesn't have to be absolutely perfect to be good art. Mona says, there will always be someone that will put us down, just ignore them. Exactly. Exactly. No matter how hard we try, we are never, ever, ever going to please everybody. There will always be the people who thumbs down, who will say not nice things, but that doesn't make it true. It really genuinely doesn't. And us worrying about it, and even though I know that, I still occasionally worry, but what I don't let happen is I don't allow that worry to turn into paralyzing fear that stops me. You know, a while back, I might not have done this live on YouTube because I would have been so afraid that it turned out in a way that other people would judge me in a negative way. But as I've grown, and maybe some of it comes with age, maybe because I am that little bit older and I don't really give quite as many hoots as I used to, that possibly is why I'm able to come on and share this with you, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we all have these human feelings. Mona is saying, in fact, Chrissy, absolutely, Mona, if you let it get under your skin, you start self-doubting. Yes, you're absolutely right, Chrissy. That's exactly what happens. It is perfectly okay, and I'm not telling everybody to never have these thoughts, okay? And I think that's what's key. If we try and never ever have these thoughts, we then think we failed, because it is actually not possible to consistently never have these thoughts. These thoughts are always going to creep back in. It is essentially, it's our brain's way of protecting us. It's the way in which it keeps us from doing things that are maybe what we might consider a little bit risky, to help us from getting hurt. We've all had our feelings hurt in some way, shape, or form, and it's not nice. So that's our way of kind of protecting us from getting those feelings hurt. However, when we protect ourselves too much, we then don't experience things that we could potentially be experiencing. And so the key is not to never, ever, ever have these self-doubt thoughts. The key to a much more productive and creative life that we enjoy a little bit more is to recognize that it's okay to have the thought. Recognize the thought, acknowledge that we've had the thought, thank our self-defense system for trying to protect us, but we're going to be okay, and ignore it. Do it anyway. Obviously, if our brains are telling us not to touch the fire because it's going to burn us, that's a different matter altogether. Don't touch the fire. Yeah. If our brains are telling us, we're trying to protect us, don't eat the paint, there's a very good reason not to eat the paint. So don't eat the paint. But there's no good reason why we can't paint in any way, shape, or form that we want to. That goes for tracing. It goes for using stamps. It goes for using stencils. If you want to create with these tools so you can have an enjoyable time, do it. Please, please, please do it. Wow, I really need to get off my soapbox now. I hope that's been of some assistance to somebody, and it has given you the encouragement and the courage to experiment and have fun and enjoy doing something that you wouldn't ordinarily do. Um, Chrissy says, need to go. Love you. Be creative and be yourselves. Hugs. Love you too, Chrissy. Thank you for hanging out with me. Very much appreciated. Mona says, I think it does come with age. We are all human, and I do think that we all have self-doubts once in a while, but as long as for the most time we are okay. Mona says, exactly, Tanya, and tracing is not cheating. Anjali says, great advice. Thank you, Anjali. I'm surprised you're still up, actually. Is it not getting a little bit later for you? Mind you, having said that, it's been a while, so maybe it's not quite as late as I think it is. So thank you. And maybe I might actually go live a little bit sooner in the day, more often, because there's actually been a few people have joined me today, and I really appreciate that. So maybe I'll try different times of the day for different people. Thank you. Before I go, I must check, because I always check. Is there anybody at all that has any questions about anything that I have done, about the paints? So Anjali says it's 1:45 in the morning. Yes, I thought it was late for you, Anjali. So I really, really appreciate you staying and hanging out with us. Any questions at all or whatsoever? We've got 6 people viewing. Any burning questions? It can be about anything at all. The painting, the palette knives, the journal, anything, any questions. If there's not, then that's fine. We can wrap up and I will say ta-ta, but I'm just giving people the opportunity to ask anything at all at this moment in time. Thank you, Mona. I was just about to mention the tribe. If you fancy it, I do have a Facebook group called the Creative Tartanite Tribe. We do challenges once a month at the moment, and we are currently making some awesome dotty dolls. So if you would like to join, then there is a link in the chat. But if you can't get access to the link, it is just going to Facebook. Oh, you're very welcome, Jen. You're very welcome. Bye. So if anybody wants to join, please feel free to do so. We are very eclectic in terms of our creativity. Whereas a lot of what I do on my YouTube channel is around about portraiture. Within the Creative Tartanite Tribe, I am being a little bit more eclectic. Oh, thanks, Gail. I'm trying to be a little bit more eclectic and encouraging people to just simply be creative and do lots of different creative things. There will be painting. There will be journaling. There will be other things that are going on in group. We have question of the day. We have lots of fun chats, sharing of photographs, sharing of our work. It's an awesome group, and I love all my Creative Tartanite Tribe. You guys are awesome. You show me such support. Right, I think I've rambled on enough. It sounds as if, I say it sounds as if there's doesn't seem to be any questions. Don't forget, I'm also a member of the Art Sherpa design team, and this month's theme is the Old Masters, and I do have an idea in my mind for my next ATC, which I will be doing very soon. So watch this space. If you're not already, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. That way you will get notifications. So thank you, Mona. I'm quite looking forward to it as well. I think that's it. I think I've mentioned everybody. So yeah, please give me the thumbs up. It does help my channel. Thank you. You are all awesome. You are all very welcome to hang out with me anytime. And you're very welcome, Mona. Thank you very much for being an awesome moderator. So take care, everybody. And if you have got this far and you're on the replay, you're doubly awesome. So thank you. Take care, everybody. Need to find my mouse. Bye for now. Oh, yay. There we go. Got it. Bye.